I was asked just recently from a very astute individual who said, I see a lot of successful people, but what was it about you, Troy, that drove you long before you were successful, long before you knew your real path in life? What drove you? You know, Initially you think about it, you go, I don't know, I kind of just do what I do. But having 4 decades of doing what I've done, I can look back and I can tell you the driver for me was not about the money. It wasn't about like there's a ticker tape that had everybody in the world's net worth on it, and it changed every minute of the day. So you could see yourself advancing up that ticker tape saying, my net worth, my income's better than this person or that person. There's not a cemetery in the United States that has everybody's headstones that says, here died John Smith, net worth $3.995 million on this date and time, stamped. There's nothing that exists like that. So what I was able to do, the fortunate thing for me is I grew up in a fairly low-income family. We weren't dirt poor. We didn't have money. What I did have was I had this country. And I had the ability to say, you know what? I can do anything I want to do. I can be anything I want to be. There's no constraints. But I got to do the one thing that 99.5% of most people don't do. Life is like a buffet. It's all you can eat, all you can have, except for one thing. You got to get off your ass and go get that food. You got to get off your ass and go get that opportunity. And 99.5% don't. They make excuses. They make alibis. They blame others. They cry. They get a certain amount of income. They've reached their own plateau. They tell people they're smarter than the guy that's rich. They say, I got a better education than the guy that's rich. They say, oh, he was just lucky. She was just lucky. But that's not really it. So the answer to the question for me is simply this. The driver for me was that the wide open runway of opportunity in this country to be anything I wanted to be had no constraints. It was your own imagination. It was your own dream. It was your own desire. It was about, I can literally do anything I want to do in the United States if I so desire to get off my lazy butt and go get it done. America is the economy of all you can have buffet. It allows you to do what you want when you want to do it. And having worked with and for multimillionaires for almost 41 years, I can tell you, most of them are successful in their own minds. But I don't look at what they do as successful. No offense to anybody, by the way. But if I'm a doctor and I go to college and I become a doctor and I make $1 million a year in income and I have a $10 million net worth when I pass away or I retire, congratulations, you did exactly what you should do. You found a profession, you put it to work, you made a great income for your family, and you have a net worth. Nothing to be ashamed of. You can be an engineer, sell your engineering practice. You can be a programmer. You can be anything you want to be. Lawyer, banker, financial advisor, don't care. But the difference for me was I never had an end to my story. When somebody says, what do you see as the end of your story, the end of your life? And you know what I had? I didn't have a finish line. I didn't have a marker of a net worth or an income or assets. What I had is a brand new sunrise every morning that said, today's your day. What are you going to do about it? And I wake up, I run out full speed. I say, you know what? I've done this, I've done that. I've been successful here. I wasn't successful there. I stepped on my toe here. I climbed the ladder very quickly over there. But you know what I get today? I get to use my brain. I get to use my personality. I get to use the tools that God gave me to go out and do anything I want today. And I can maximize everything about my day if I'm willing to get off my tail and go do it. So I don't need an alarm in the morning. I wake up because my brain is clicked in while I'm dreaming. I wake up, I hit the ground, and I am gone. I am gone like a rabbit out of a hole. I wake up, take care of my shower, put my hair in place, brush my teeth, and I'm gone. Oh, by the way, I put my clothes on. But I'm gone. And the entire time I'm driving or getting in my car, I'm talking to my phone, I'm taking notes, I'm talking about the things I want to do, and I'm looking. I'm looking at cars for sale and property for sale, and I'm trying to figure out why this doesn't work and that doesn't work. So I think in a clear answer, what makes truly a successful entrepreneur is several factors, and I'm going to give them to you. Number one, you got to be true to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. If you're not good at reading financial statements, then hire somebody who is. Don't do it yourself. If you're horrible at sales, go hire you the best salesman you can afford and then pay him a lot more than you think you should pay him. If you can't sell it, you can't make money. I don't care if it's hamburgers, French fries, or investments. The fact of the matter is you got to know what you're good at, and you really, even more importantly, have to know what you're not good at. I did that years ago. I knew exactly what I was not good at, and I didn't do it. I hired people and paid them really well to do it, which gave me what? It gave me more time, more focus, more brain power to really focus on what I do really, really well. And then when you do it really, really well, the second thing you have to have is unrelenting confidence. You have to literally tell yourself, I'm right, I'm going to be right, and I'm going to execute. And you don't let negative Nancy's and you don't let naysayers and people drag you down. And you're not ignorant and you're not arrogant. If you're going down the wrong path, you got to be smart enough to say, whoops, I stepped down the wrong road. Let me back up and start over. But when you know you're right, you have to have the guts and the intestinal fortitude to say, I'm right and I'm not stopping. Why do you think we have so many young millionaires and inventors and software programmers and AI designers? And why are they all successful? Because they had confidence in themselves. And what's the third thing? Humility. Most of you misunderstand the word of humility. I get it as this, my definition. Humility means I'm willing to accept the things that happen in my life as part of what I did to create those events. But I'm humble enough to know I don't know what I don't know. I'm humble enough to know that at any point in time, a slight change in the trajectory of my life could have put me in a totally different spot than I'm at today. I take my blessings, I take my bad decisions, I take my good decisions, all together and want to say a preponderance of all that together has led me to today's point. I'm humble enough to know it could have happened much, much different. And the last thing is this. You can never lose your edge. You can't claim you're 60 years old and you're too old and you're out of shape and I wish this would have happened, had I sold this stock and I should have bought this property. You know, when you start giving yourself excuses and you start giving yourself exits and outs and you lose your edge, you're done, and you're done in the worst possible way. I can rebound from a bad investment. I can rebound from a bad partnership or relationship. I can rebound from a lot of things, but I can't rebound from losing the edge between these two ears that says, tomorrow is another exciting challenge. It is a mountain I get to climb, not have to, get to climb. It's another view from the top I've never seen before. It's another chance along the path to the top of that new mountain I'm going to climb to tell me different vantage points and different things I never thought about or never seen before. The world today is the most robust I've ever seen it in my entire lifetime of opportunity. And it's open to anybody of any education, of any ethnicity, of any country. So the whining room's off to the left. 99.9% of you need to be in the left-hand room, the whiner excuse-made room. But in that room for successful entrepreneurs, and answering the question that I was asked was simply this. I am excited about tomorrow's opportunities, and I don't ever see tomorrow stopping. I'll let you know when that happens.